Hello, good evening, everybody. It's about 7:15 p.m. here in Istanbul, Turkey, the very last day of the month. It's a Thursday, and I'm finally back in town, a little bit jet lagged, but I am more than ready to take a look at the market and start crushing it as soon as I feel a little bit better, which will be tomorrow. So let's take a look at the crypto market here and let's see what Bitcoin has been doing. I'm going to go over with you guys kind of a step-by-step guide of what I personally do to catch up with the market. But first of all, I want to talk about some tweets that I've made. I've been talking very passionately about how Bitcoin's weekly MACD crossover was very likely to cross over. And I also did a comparison of how every other coin before, especially Bitcoin, when they did cross over, when they were expecting and leading up to the anticipation of a crossover, what was going to happen. And surely enough, Bitcoin ended up breaking above that 44.5K region by about 8%, which ended up bringing up the entire market in general. A lot of coins were in that phase of wanting to cross over on the weekly, and those histogram ticks that have been leading up to it for those weeks, they've been building up to something suspenseful, which eventually broke out to much more than double digit gains. For those that are interested in my course, check out the top banner that you see there. Just check out my website at www.philakone.com. Course version 2.0 is hosted on there for now, just to get a gauge of what's going on. The people that got access early to the course version 2.0, you got a lot more. You got the lifetime Discord membership, you got the book with it for free as well, and of course the gift box set, which goes for a lot further than being able to just find it on Udemy, right? So the lifetime membership is definitely worth just that by itself there. So take a look at course version 2.0. And for those interested in my Discord trading group, just check it out at www.philakone.com. I think that spending 3 or 4 months in there with me, where you're getting an access to a huge library of information with long lessons, short lessons, you're probably going to thrive there in the next 4 months, much better than doing it by yourself. Not only that, I was 2018's top trader or top analyst at bitcoin.com, and it's most certainly going to carry the momentum over to the next years to come as well. So I hope to see a lot of you sign up for course version 2.0 and especially see you in the Discord group as well. So let's take a look at Bitcoin's weekly and start from there. So Bitcoin's weekly, as we saw, the last time that we fell below the 55 EMA on the weekly was actually in June. We don't have that much data, so it's not showing back over here, but it was actually over here. Okay, it was in June of 2020. That was a long time. And since then, the only time that we actually got close again to the 55 EMA was over here. Okay, was here where we were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks trending at the 55 EMA, where we entirely bounced above it. Huge bounce where we ended up rallying a whopping 144%. Now, there's never the right time to buy Bitcoin. People like myself and long-term holders of Bitcoin, we generally will just buy it on a dip because it's better to be in Bitcoin than not to be in it at all if it's getting to something like $100,000. Does that make sense? If you keep waiting for the bottom, you're never going to catch that exact bottom. So in my opinion, this is not financial advice, but I'm saying that it's always best to just dollar cost average and believe in it fundamentally long term rather than just hoping for a short term gain. You got to be able to handle those big 10, 20% dips. But over time, I think Bitcoin's going to reach something huge, and this bull run could potentially begin this year. So the 55 EMA on the weekly is one of the most important moving averages in all of Bitcoin, in my opinion. We got here, huge recovery above it, where we went back up 28%. Then finally, we got one gigantic candle that fell below it for 1 week, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 weeks. We stayed below the 55 EMA. It was a confusing time here because we weren't sure if this rejection was indicative of a rejection where we couldn't break back above 44.5K around there, right? Where the EMA was around 42.5-ish. But the moment that we smashed that, we broke some really nice resistances, which has now really high momentum to get to something higher. So 11 weeks on the downside, we finally smashed our way upwards, okay? So the way that I saw Bitcoin was in an ascending type of triangle where we had a resistance around 44.6K range. So right here, right, we see this possible ascending type of triangle that was forming very clearly in front of our eyes here. And these types of patterns should never be denied. They should never be denied, and they should always be acknowledged, in my opinion, because of course it could eventually lead to something. Okay, just like that right here. Okay, so that does look like an ascending type of triangle, where we kept getting a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, that eventually just smashed to the upside there. So the weekly 55 EMA was one of the most significant factors of this particular break. I'm going to keep this TA around 10-15 minutes. If you've noticed here, the 55 EMA is just heading to the upside, heading to the upside, heading to the upside, heading to the upside. So every time we see the 55 EMA on the low side and it goes to the higher side, for example, last time was the year before, and in many of my videos I've shown how when we have a potential MACD crossover that leads up to it, the bar before and the bar before here, there's always some major momentum. For example, here, the bar before, on the lower side, we did 140-ish%. And here, we're crossing to the upside again, right? And the bar from the bar below that, we've done 33% already. And then we had this major resistance here at around 44.5 on the daily, 44.6 range right here, right? So as soon as that weekly was inching towards there, and literally the moment that it crossed over that particular day, was the day that we broke above it, right? So these are some huge breaks. The 27th, when was the 27th here? Yeah, that was exactly the day before the weekly started to cross over. So we broke above there, and now, of course, it's natural for us to find some sort of resistance, okay? It makes a lot of sense. We might even test this particular range again that we broke to the upside. And I'm going to get into alts very soon for you as well. So you see that this is the resistance, right, that we broke above. So it's natural for us to most likely test it, especially on the daily the daily 200 moving average. The daily 200 moving average is obviously a much higher time frame or long-term time frame of how it's going to be gauged, because it's a 200 moving average. It's taking a sample of a much greater range. So it's very likely that we're going to test this lower side of this green right here at the 200 moving average, which will be around 44.6, right? 44.6 is probably the one major resistance that we're going to test again. So I expect Bitcoin to have some major dips, or major drops sometime soon. And you're seeing kind of every coin. If I go to the weekly, okay, just to give you an idea, you see all the weeklies trending. Look at the MACD crossover, and then you get some major numbers that are breaking to the top side. It's not just the big. Look at the same here, SKL. Weekly crosses over. This guy does 230%. Bake does 170-80%. IOST crosses over, right? We're getting some major crossovers. Okay, look at Wave. Wave anticipated the crossover earlier. It's now at 654% to the upside. So these crossovers are huge. When you start to see the weekly trend like that, okay, when you see to start basically buying, in my opinion, not financial advice, but basically buying right before the crossover occurs, like the bar before where it's very close. Say on this one, you would have bought like on this bar anywhere, and you would have just rode it for the next few weeks. That's the best strategy in my opinion, right? The bar before, you could have bought down over here, which would have been like here, and this would have gone up 50% already. I'm basically giving an example of every single coin. Lena right now is a little bit slow, so some coins are not going to go up nearly as much as others, okay? But if you take a look at any coin that's about to anticipate the weekly MACD crossover, they've all done over 50%. In fact, most of them have done hundreds of percents already, if not more, okay? Some don't have as much information yet. Like some are they're not moving nearly as much, right? The slower moving coins like Theta are still doing 100%. But if you're taking a look at any weekly chart right now, they've all crossed over and they've all moved a significant amount. Any coin here that I pick, okay, that has enough data. These guys haven't been around long enough, so you don't see it, right? Zen, for example, where it's crossing to the upside. This guy's did 81%. Any coin that you pick, your guess is as good as mine, your pick is as good as mine. You're going to see major momentum going to the upside. This just goes to show how powerful it is for the weekly MACD crossovers. And these MACD crossovers are very powerful to the point where it's indicating a longer term momentum, a longer term trend, an overall bigger degree rally that is very likely to occur. So now that we've seen a lot of these alts that are moving hundreds of percents, and we also see Bitcoin moving for the first time above here again, are we going to see a mega bull rally? If we can stay above, in my opinion, above the 55 EMA, especially on the weekly Bitcoin moving average, and especially above the daily's 44.6K resistance, which is the resistance we broke out prior, if we can keep these things up for the next few weeks, I'm going to anticipate a really large bull run until the end of the year, to the December 17th range. So I'm really excited right now to be back in crypto, really excited to be back in Istanbul, back in my office. Unfortunately, I'm moving in less than 2 months. So with the move coming up, I'm probably going to have at least 3 weeks of downtime because moving to a new house is a lot of work and a lot of excitement. So I'm going to try to get in as many videos as I can to help out the group, to get everybody caught up with my thoughts. Because, man, I'm here to make money, but more importantly, I'm here to help you guys make money as well. So I look forward to seeing a lot of you in the Discord group, and especially checking out course version 2.0. They are all individually sectioned, so you can buy it and pick one at a time which ones you want to learn. And what I can guarantee is that they're very different and unique from the original courses that I put out years ago, and there's definitely something new that you'll be able to learn and pick up from it. So I hope to see a lot of you there, and I'm back, and I'll see you guys soon again. Bye now.